here. I know you're gonna dig this.
Well, for the second to one, and now they trapped at third and hanging out. And second and two, handoff goes to McCaffrey up the middle, finds a little room, lot more room, and he's off to the races.
Welcome to the In the Zone Sports Talk Radio Network. You're listening to the Just Us Sports Talk Show with your host, Kate Diggs from Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, the small city with the large heart, and co-host Dana the Hater Clark from St. Petersburg, Florida. Also co-hosting Murray E. Baskerville from Gotta Be More Careful, Baltimore, Maryland. These are your hosts, bringing you the ultimate in sports news for the ultimate sports fan. Be sure to download the Try 99 TV app on any smart device and subscribe to In the Zone Sports Talk Television. The cost is $4.95. Thank you in advance for your support. Now sit back and prepare to get into another episode of the Just Us Sports Talk Show.
What's up, everybody? How you guys doing? Hope you guys enjoying your time off for the holidays. Hope you guys have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year's, because this will probably be our last show for the year, unless the guys want to come on the 29th, and we can do that as well. A couple people on the internet. What's up, everybody? How you doing out there? Let's see here. Let's go put this one here. All right, I don't want to hear that. Let's see here. All right, give me a second, people. I'm sorry. I apologize for this. For some reason it didn't. Okay, what's going on? What happened here? Right. Look like we got Dana on the line. Dana, is that you out there, brother? Oh, wait a minute. I'm sorry. I got you on mute. Okay, is that Dana?
Yes, sir.
All right. What's going on?
Man.
All right, and we got look like we got Curry on the line. So you guys both Miami Dolphin fans, I'm gonna talk to y'all like this so I get this live feed together. Last week we had a heated conversation about Pittsburgh and Miami. Since then, Miami lost and Pittsburgh has been on the road. Miami has been eliminated from the playoffs, and I just want to get you guys take on what type of year you felt like the Miami Dolphins had. It to me felt like a little roller coaster ride. At the beginning of the year, it looked like they were selling instead of buying. But I just want to get you guys your take. Dana, you can go first.
Okay. I thought it was going to be. I thought the Dolphins were going to be competitive. I thought I just thought over like this. It's like we digress back to what we started out, what we was before Mike McDaniel got there. I mean, the team looked off, terrible. Food was terrible. Like everything was going wrong at the right time. I mean, as soon as the season started, it was embarrassing. When you went up there and got beat down by the coach, it was just like not competitive. And after schools were like, you were saying, like, no talk, here, no nothing until they started winning.
But you know what though, man? I'm gonna say this. As a Browns fan, I still buy gear. And I guess because like I'm a little bit older than everybody else on the show. I think Curry he might have me by a couple years. I think, I'm not for sure, but I can always go back and talk about when they were winning. And there's been a lot of mistakes with the Browns since they got back as a franchise. There's some things that draft wise that wasn't applied to them as it was applied to the Jaguars and the Panthers that made them instant winners. You know, a lot of people don't realize it because they're not Browns fans. But then when I bring it up to them, they're like, "Nah, you're not right." And I tell them go back and look at it. You know what I'm saying? Because the league was getting upset because Jaguars and the Panthers came in the league and they just started winning. So they kind of changed how the Browns could get players off of certain teams and things of that nature. So it's been a struggle since then. Um, I don't know. I don't know if Stefanski is going to remain as a head coach right now. I'm very optimistic of him being there next year. Um, but I digressed on that. But Curry, give me your thoughts on the Dolphins, please.
Uh, I didn't really expect them to be too much of a contender. I'm like Dana. I did think that they would have been better than what they are now. Um, and that's what's so disappointing about that team is the fact that they are better than what the record shows, and they should be better. But this didn't start this year. It started last year. The offense had its sputtering points. Uh, I want to say after that New England game, I feel like New England was the team that set the defense on them, that put Waddle and Tyreek to the point where they couldn't get the ball downfield, and it continued on into this year up until Tyreek got hurt. The offense started to show a little bit more promising. I hate to say it, after Tyreek got hurt, the offense showed a little bit, but then it kind of went back in his ways. But the problem is uh, the, the coach is just not a legit coach to me. I mean, you get a guy, you brought him in there, made him a head coach. He's never been a coordinator anywhere. I was one game coordinator for the San Francisco 49ers. He wasn't like offensive coordinator, but you gave him a big job. He came in and he started all the plays, and that's what a lot of things are happening to a lot of young coaches. They come in there and they want to be the coordinator, they want to be the head coach and call all the plays instead of getting somebody in there with some experience that can teach them how to call plays and how to manage the clock going down the stretch, because that's one of the biggest problems with him. He can't get plays in on time, and he's the one calling the plays.
Okay, okay. And you know, I'm gonna tell you when you guys had your window open was the year that y'all who did y'all lose to?
2023.
Yeah, y'all lost a road game, which would gave y'all home field advantage to out. And I was like, I was on the bandwagon. I was like, yeah, they're gonna do it. They're gonna do it this year. But they ended up losing.
That wasn't the question. That wasn't the game that hurt us, Kev. The game that hurt us tonight was the Tennessee Titans game on Monday night, and
Yes,
they were
yes,
up. They
yes.
were up, but they were up 14 points with about 5 minutes to go. If they win that game, they win the division. And now you got a home playoff game instead of playing on the road. You're playing at your home stadium. But that Tennessee Titan game killed us, and and not only did it kill us that year, but then it turned around and they beat us again on Monday night the next year.
Yeah. So I
So
know they that year it was a lot of promise there. And I think what happens is once coaches get the film on your offense and what Tua could do, what he couldn't do, I think they kind of went downhill from there. Because the thing about it is, South Beach, you want to be in South Beach. It's two places you want to play football, to be honest. If you think about the weather, it's Florida and California and maybe Texas, right? Georgia don't really matter because they play in a dome. You know what I'm saying? But if you think about what goes on in South Beach, you think about what goes on in LA, those two places should be the most two of the most attractive places to go play sports at because you got decent weather all year round. Now, Florida, they do get a little rain um in the wintertime. But for the most part, by the time that comes, the season's over with. You know, so you would think free agency would be something big for them. What do you which y'all guys? I know Curry, what your thoughts are. You want a new GM. They got rid of the new GM. but you think they're gonna keep the coach. Dana, what are you thinking? You think they keep the GM? I mean, they gonna get a new GM, and do you think they're gonna
They
keep the
can get
coach?
them. Yeah, they talked yesterday. They're going to keep Mike McDaniel.
Okay, so do you guys agree with
And
Mike?
see,
You guys,
I'm hoping that they're going to keep him. I think that when they were doing that 4-game win streak, I think he was kind of his job was kind of secure. But after that, we had that blowout uh, showing on in prime time against the Steelers on Monday night, and then turn around and right in front of your own crowd and going at another blowout against well, how many wins did the who did they play Sunday?
the bank.
How many wins did they have? 4, 5 wins, and then you get blown out by them. Uh, last 2 games, I'm not so sure that his job's secure now. And then you got Tampa Bay coming to town who's fighting for a division, and you probably gonna get blowed out again.
So what are you guys' thoughts on Tua? Them sitting Tua, what is that saying right now? Because you guys still owe Tua some cash money. You know what I'm saying? Do you think they're gonna go the route as Denver did with Wilson and say, look, we're gonna eat this money, but we gotta get another we need to get a quarterback in the draft. What's your thoughts on that, Curry?
Yeah, I think it'll have to be. They're gonna try to trade him first, which nobody's gonna pick up that contract that he's got. Now they could probably trade him, and then they could say, "Well, you trade him, we'll give you a draft pick, and we'll also pick up a percentage of that salary." Now, that could be the way to trade him. If that don't happen, then they're gonna probably have to end up cutting him, but it's gonna have to be a post June cut. So because it's gonna be a major hit. You're looking at a $99 million cap hit if you cut it. But you cut the hit's not gonna take place until 2027, if I'm not mistaken, if they do it post June.
Okay. It looked like we got Rich on the line with us, Rich, and we got somebody from Ohio. Who's that from Ohio? Is that who's that from Ohio? Holler at him. Holler at him.
Matt.
Okay, Matthew, what's going on? Hey guys, so Matthew, fill us in, man. Are you going? When's boot camp? What's going on with you? Or we still waiting?
So, so I'll be shipped out in March down to Oklahoma
Oh my
for
God.
15 weeks. And after that, I will be staying in Texas
All right, so let me tell you.
for a 5-year contract.
Okay. So our friend Matthew Sandy is going into the military. He's going into the United States Army. He said his basic training is gonna be at Fort Sill. Bro, I'm gonna tell you about Fort Sill a little bit. So on my second tour over to Iraq, we were stationed at Fort Sill doing training. And I'm telling you, we went there January through April, May, somewhere around there, I think it was. And the weather was terrible. I saw all 4 seasons in one day in Fort Sill, Oklahoma. And I'm trying to figure out, why did Geronimo want this property, this type of land with that crazy weather? If I'm Geronimo, I'm like, yo, I'm leaving Oklahoma, Fort Sill alone, and I'm going west where the weather is a whole lot better. I did not like Fort Sill at all. I'm gonna tell you that right now. Oh my goodness, the weather there was it was frightful. Frightful. Let us know, let us know, let us know. But hey, congratulations to you, man. We wish you the best of luck. We will definitely keep you in our prayers. Um, we'll probably be looking to hear from you once you get from boot camp. And if you have time, still come on the show and chop it up with us and things of that nature. We got Rich on the show with us too. He's calling in. I look like I'm the only one on live. So let's go to Rich real quick before we get to the college stuff. Rich, 49ers. Um, I'm coming out and say this right now. Your coach he should be the coach of the year. I have never seen a team get so many injuries during the season and still have a winning record. Now, again, Y'all was in the bottom. Y'all was in the bottom fifth of the easiest schedule because of what happened last year. But I'm not giving that no credence right now because of how well this team played when you had critical parts that were not in the games. You lost both your wide receivers. Um, the only one actually was steady was your running back. You lost your quarterback, you lost your tight end, you lost some defensive players. I mean, you lost a lot of stuff during the season, and you guys right there at 11-4 with the Rams and the Seahawks. So I'm going on the limb to say that he should be at least the NFC head coach of the year. If I had to give it to somebody in the AFC, I would have to go with the Patriots, even though they had the easiest schedule in the NFL, but they had a new coach, so it was a little bit adapting to the way he played.
The Jaguars coach.
Liam Cohen, but he was there last year, right? Wasn't he there last year? Yeah, he was there
No.
last year. This is his second year.
Oh, this is the second year?
Yeah, I believe so, because he was with the Rams. So
He was with the Bucks last year.
Liam Cohen, I thought he started out with the Rams as a coordinator.
No, he was the coordinator for the Bucks.
Oh, okay. I thought he was with the Rams. Okay, I'm wrong. So Rich, what's your feelings going ahead? Because it looked like it's going to be the Rams, Seattle, or the 49ers that probably will represent the NFC. I got faith in the Rams as my team. I got faith in the 49ers. But I don't have faith in Seattle because I don't know if Seattle can take that team on well, I'm just saying they can get to the Super Bowl, which is in San Francisco, but how well will they play there when they probably won't have the 12th man there as they would at home? I think they play great at home, but there's question marks about on the road. Even though they only have 4 losses, they struggled on the road against teams. And now they play Carolina this weekend. So give me your thoughts on the 49ers and where you think they may end up going.
I think the 49ers are going to finish 13-4, like I called in the beginning of the season. I think that the 49ers are going to be the number one seed in the NFC. And I think they will represent the NFC in the Super Bowl.
Okay. Matthews, you're a Seahawk fan. Talk to me. What you
As far
thinking? Go ahead, Rich. Go ahead, Rich.
as coach of the year, the only way I see it happening is if we keep their number one seed. If we don't, then I think it's going to be either Jacksonville or Chicago.
I can see Chicago too. I can see Chicago. All right, Matthew, you're a Seahawk fan, man. What you seeing right now? What you seeing?
Right now, I'm seeing a lot of things. Good, the bad, and the ugly. I would be surprised if we proceed, and I wouldn't be surprised if we do. Because I want to say this about the Seahawks right now. Like you can make an argument, and Darnold is a good QB. You can make an argument that he's a bad QB. Question is, how's he going to do in the playoffs? Because he's had that struggle in his whole career. He hasn't gotten that playoff win mentality yet. The only thing that's helping him out right now is he has a decent wide receiver core, and he has back-to-back linebackers and a healthy O-line. And a defense, despite all the injuries, is holding him back. So we're eventually going to see within the next 1 to 2 weeks how is he to do on the road and how is the defense within the corners and linebackers going to do. The D lines look fine. The kicker is perfect. Like kicker's been saving the team for the last 3 weeks. It's just a matter of what can the offense can do and what can those corners and linebackers can do.
Okay. And as a Rams fan, I think the Rams beat themselves. Two losses. There's 3 losses that the Rams should not have had. The first one was against San Francisco. We fumbled the ball at the goal line and we lose that game. I think the Carolina game, I think they overlooked Carolina and they should have won that game. and then the Seattle game, they had that game wrapped up. I think I think the Rams beat themselves. I don't think those teams beat them. The mistakes like that 2-point conversion was crazy. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is. You know, but the thing about it is when you up 30-14, if you don't put them away, then that's your fault because Sean McVay he's been known to be up by a whole lot of points and to take the gas off. And I think you would learn a lesson before by doing that. You keep the metal to the foot on the metal to the pedal and don't give up until the clock says 0.00. That's the way I look at it. So this is going to be the next 2 weeks is going to be real exciting for football. It's a good thing for football because the teams that are playing they're basically playing for a playoff spot. This is probably one of the better seasons that we've seen in a long time. We'll get back to that, but let's go into some college football right now. With college football, so there's a guy by the name of Wilson that went to the University of Georgia, and they're suing him for like $1.2 million. So I didn't know this, and I read this today that they're having a situation where now players that are under contract is getting paid. There's a buyout, right? So he goes to Missouri, I think, and he's a leading tackler in Missouri, right? And they're going to a bowl game. He's allowed to play in the bowl game, but he owes them some money. So now this is another small print in the contract that these players are getting now, where if you're getting paid, there's a buyout for you to leave my program. Now, I don't know. I think he's making like 500,000 or something of that nature. I don't know exactly how much it was, because I read it and thought I remembered it by now because I thought I was going to talk about this fresh off the mic, but I was fixing something on my phone. But so my thing is if you give a guy a $500,000 contract to play for your team, and the buy's 1.2. That's a little bit more than what you're paying them, right? So basically what you're saying is the money we gave you, I want that back, plus another $500,000, $502,000, they make that 1 million. So does the college that he goes to, do they have to pay the other half? It didn't go into detail, but you're probably going to hear more about this when the portal opens up, where college players are leaving, is getting paid, and now they got to recoup some of the money back. I think there's a lot of layers to players being paid in college football, and the thing about it is if he's making $500,000 and you're saying a 1.2 buyout, and he's already spent the money that he got, like say he took care of his family, he took his mom, make sure mom house got paid off or something of that nature, but he's still allowed to play. But now where's that money coming from? Now I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this is if he's going pro, when I go pro, I'll give you your money. You know what I'm saying? That's what I would say. If I'm going pro and my agent can predict me being picked in the top 3 or 4 rounds, I'm gonna give you 1.2 million back. But the guy's gonna say, well, no, I want it right now because I need it to recruit other players. So now what do you do? How do you figure this thing out at the NCAA level? Because it's getting really difficult. And now you got lawyers involved. I mean, the guy's not making a lot of money. So when it's all said and done, he's probably going to be out of money before he even makes money from Missouri. And if he's leading the team in tackles for Missouri, then that says something about him. Now I'm gonna say this though, iron sharpens iron. You know what I'm saying? And the only thing about the portal I don't like is if you come up to a guy that's better than you and you leave, that to me that doesn't make any sense. You know what I'm saying? If they're going to offer you more money than other school, okay, that's fine and dandy. But at the end of the day, when it comes time to be drafted, there's only certain amount of players are going to get drafted in the NFL, and the rest of them going to be free agents, right? So again, you got to meet that criteria to make that team. And if you're not up to par, then you're gonna be on the taxi squad or the practice squad or whatever you call it, and you're still not gonna get the money you're gonna get because you're still not better than player A or player B that you might play with in college. And my thing is that I grew up playing basketball, and I had guys on my team. I recruited guys to come on my team and play that were probably better than me, right? But it wasn't all about me playing basketball. It's all about winning the game. And I guess that mentality is no longer part of sports anymore. It's all about what I can get, and what can get me to the next level. But again, if your defensive tackle misses a block, right, and the tackle, I mean, if the defensive tackle misses a block, and that tackle comes and blocks you out the way, and the running back runs down your right side, who's to blame for that? You gonna blame it on the left tackle? And when they look at the film, you gonna say, well, the left tackle was, and they're gonna say, no, you still should have made the block anyway. If you knew where the play was coming from, you still should have made the block. So that's why we're not gonna give you 2.5. We're gonna give you 1.2 or whatever the case may be. So if you guys get a chance, read up on our article. It's really interesting, but it just puts another layer on this portal and this player for play, and NCAA. This thing is going to get really, really messy. Do anybody have any comments before we move on?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I feel like the way you explained it, I feel like the player didn't read like the contract fully
Mm-hmm.
into what he was getting into. And what's probably going to end up happening is if it does go to a district court, what will likely probably happen is he doesn't have the money already up front or anything at that point. When he shows up, the judge will likely say, here's what we're going to do. We're going to put you under a loan. You're going to pay 1.2 up front, but you have this much time to pay off that loan.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And that could be that could be a possibility, but Georgia gonna be like, yo, I need the money now because I'm getting ready to recruit some more players. I need that money now. So that's where I think that becomes an issue when you get it to that point, though. I mean, it would be nice if Georgia say, yeah, okay, cool, you can pay it to us in installments, but if they come back and say, nah, we want our money now, and
only one college.
Go ahead.
That I can think of that has this problem, but they can get their money back because the people forming the contract for the NIL at the time that corrected in their ways where they get their money back. And this is when Quinn Ewers was a redshirt freshman for Ohio State, and Ohio State applied for a $10 million NIL. And when he went down to transfer to Texas, they tried to get the money back, and they couldn't because the way they formed the contract, you have to keep majority of that money from the booster donation.
Okay. All right. So we got the quarterfinals coming for college football. We got Oregon against Texas Tech, Alabama against Indiana, Ole Miss against Georgia, Miami against Ohio State. And Dana, I didn't realize this, but the national championship game is January the 19th in Miami, Florida. January 19th. What has the weather been like that? How's the weather been during that time period in January?
Oh, it's nice.
It's nice?
It's nice. Oh, yeah. It's been nice.
Okay. So, James Madison scored 34 points. I didn't get a chance to watch the game because I think I had a game that day. 51-34. Can anybody tell me, did James Madison deserve to be in the playoffs with a score like that?
No.
Okay. Ole Miss,
yes.
Ole Miss, you said yes. Dana says no. Okay, so look, we got a little debate here. So Dana, why are you saying no? You don't think they should have been there?
Well, I mean, you competitive against the other top five. You know, what they call them, the top 5 teams.
Mm-hmm.
When you went against the SEC big boys, you didn't even matter. It wasn't even close.
Okay.
I think the NCAA let them get some of those points. The game was over quick.
Okay. Matthew, you said yes, they should be there. Why are you saying yes, Matthew?
And I feel they should be in just because when I watched the whole game, now I'm thinking, okay, they're probably going to get 10 points, 10 to 14 points. Oregon's going to pound on them. Just like Ole Miss did to Tulane. But once it got into the second half, and James Madison was putting points on the board at Oregon, to me, for a little tiny college that's able to put up that many points, and Oregon just playing give up, and they had to play chess towards the end to make sure that didn't become a 10-point game, make them look bad when they go up against Texas Tech. And I gotta give a big pat on the back to James Madison in comparison to Tulane, because Tulane just looked like they were just in practice against Ole Miss.
Okay.
So big pat on the back to James Madison for doing well at Austin.
Okay. So let me
Gave that spot to Notre Dame.
so let me ask you guys a question. Do you think Notre Dame would have been a better game than James Madison?
Yeah.
Who's saying yes?
Dana.
Okay.
That was terrible, man.
Okay. So I remember you guys was telling me about Notre Dame situation last week, about how Notre Dame signed a contract with college football, about if they get, is it 12 wins or 10 wins? I can't remember which one was it that they signed the contract with. They'll automatically get into the playoffs.
10.
10. Okay, so I looked at their schedule, right? And Notre Dame should be ashamed of itself. And for college football to agree to this right here, there gotta be some fine print. So this is who they play next year: Wisconsin, Rice, Michigan State, Purdue, North Carolina, Navy, Miami, Boston College, SMU, Syracuse, Stanford, and BYU. You notice they don't have USC on the schedule no more. Okay, why would you? If you're trying, and they could, this team at least could go 11-1, right? The team, I see Miami still being competitive. I don't know about BYU if they're gonna be that competitive, but they got BYU the last game of the season. But you got
Now, real quick,
go ahead.
USC was the one that backed out of that because the USC director said that USC has suffered competition now since within the Big Ten conference.
Well, now I read where Notre Dame asked them, and they said yeah, and then they had two letters on the table. The one to sign this one to get in the playoffs, and the other one to sign for them to play USC, right? And of course, you're going to sign the one with a schedule like this to get into the playoffs. So again, I'm still saying, I don't know about you guys, if you guys agree with me or not, but I think there still should be 12 teams. Even though Notre Dame was left out, and I like Notre Dame a little bit, but I don't like how they're doing what they're doing. And I can't follow a team with this type of schedule. Rice, Navy, Syracuse, Stanford. I don't see, and even with the Tar Heels, we don't even know if Belichick gonna still be there. Michigan State, they haven't been doing nothing. Wisconsin's football has dropped off a whole lot. So I can't see them if they put 16 teams in the playoff. Of course, Notre Dame gets in with 2 losses at the least and 1 loss for sure. But then you're playing down to your competition. Again, I still believe this. I know, and we talked about this before. That thing, teams that make the Final Four should always have a spot open for those same teams to play next year, right? Take a chance on playing top teams again if you at the beginning of the season, the middle of the season, at the end of the season, because you are who you are, and your schedule is going to reflect who you are. You know, but Notre Dame got mad because the ACC didn't back them, but the ACC backed Miami because Miami's in the ACC. Notre Dame wanted their cake and ice cream, the pretzels, potato chips. They want the cake, they want the balloons, they want the whole party to be theirs, right? And they didn't want to invite nobody. But then you're gonna get mad at the ACC because they didn't back you about you not getting the playoffs. I for one felt like they should have got in. Um, and the reason why I think they should have got in over Alabama because Alabama did not show up in the SEC championship game. Georgia just demolished them in the ACC game, you know. And something in the back of my mind kind of felt like maybe Alabama knew one way or another if they won or lost that both of them was going to get in, and maybe they didn't try hard enough in that game because they didn't show up. But then they definitely showed up against Oklahoma, you know, down 17 and end up winning 34-24, which was a great game to watch. So we got Alabama. So I'm sorry. So Oregon and Texas Tech. Dana, who you got for that game?
Oregon and Texas Tech.
Yeah.
I got Texas Tech.
Okay. Rich, who you got?
I got Texas Tech too.
Somebody left the somebody come on. Oh, we got Mo on the board with us. Okay, what's up, Mo? Curry, who you got? Oregon or Texas Tech?
I'm going to Texas Tech also.
Matthew, who you got? Oregon or Texas Tech?
I'm taking Texas Tech by 14.
Okay. Mo, got to be more careful for Baltimore. Who you got?
I'm guessing we're saying Oregon, Texas Tech.
Yes.
So I'm going to take Oregon. I take more number one pick for the Steelers.
he got to start his mess, don't he? He always got to start his mess. I'm gonna go with Oregon too. That should be a good game right there. Next up,
the quarterback Dante.
Next up we got Alabama at Indiana. That game is a Rose Bowl game. Matthew, who you got?
Going with Alabama just with how physical players that they are in comparison to Indiana.
Dana?
I'm going with Indiana. I'm proud of Alabama.
Okay. Rich?
I'm going Indiana.
Curry?
I got to go with Indiana too. I think Alabama tends to get behind early, and I don't think if they get behind early this game, they'll come back.
Mo?
Viva Indiana.
I'm gonna go with Indiana too. Ole Miss at Georgia. They weathered the storm with Tulane per se. We know the coach is gone; he's not coaching anymore. Matthew, who you got?
I'm taking Ole Miss.
Dana?
I got Georgia. I ain't keeping my data stable no more.
Mo?
Georgia?
Oh, Georgia.
Curry,
Georgia.
Rich,
Georgia.
okay. Ohio State at Miami. So I want to talk about this for a little bit because I didn't get a chance to watch that game either because we had a basketball game. Dana Dustin, you're Miami. Did you watch the game?
Yes, I watched the game.
How good was the defense for Miami? Because 10-3 is a little that score is a little low. For Texas A&M. Was Miami defense just that good? Don't hype them up. Be honest.
They were okay, but the weather played a big part in that game.
Okay. Okay. All right. I just want to know because I didn't get a chance to watch it. Miami at Ohio State. I'm gonna
No,
go.
they were. Hey, let me say something about that.
Go ahead.
No, they weren't just okay. They were good. Don't be fooled. That defense that they got is good. They went into their home field and beat them on their home field. They had a pretty good offense. They shut them down. Yes, the wind played a lot tricks, but the wind played tricks on with the ball on both sides of that ball. But them boys, Mesador and Ruben Bain on that defense, they shut them boys down. They had one of the best running backs. They shut them down. So, no, they weren't just good. They were super good.
Okay, so I'm gonna go first, and I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna take Miami because I think Miami might have looked at the film with Indiana, and if they can play Ohio State like Indiana played them, then I think Miami has a chance. So I'm going with Miami first. I'm gonna go Miami. Matthew, who you got?
I'm taking Miami and Michael Irvin's belt whooping over Ohio State.
Whooping.
Mo, who you got?
Out Miami, baby.
Rich, who you got?
What game is this?
Miami, and Ohio, Rose Bowl.
I'm taking Ohio State.
Okay. Curry, who you got?
I'm taking Ohio State too. I think Miami's defense is awful strong. I just don't trust Carson back.
Yeah, that's another issue too. So, all right, so we got our four games going on. The next game, the winners of that will play the Chick-fil-A Bowl and the Fiesta Bowl. So talking about the bowls, you've had I think it was 3 or 4 teams that didn't go to bowl games that was eligible to go. You have multiple teams that they don't have starters not going to the bowl games. So my question to you guys, I kind of think I know your answer. Do we have too many bowl games? And if we had teams that's not going to go to bowl games, should they eliminate these bowl games? Curry, what's your thoughts on that? Curry, you out there?
Sorry about
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry about that. I didn't know you were going to hit me first. Yeah, two of those games because you got guys that's going to go pro. They're not going to play in those games. It's not playing in the national championship competition. So, yeah, it's just too many bowl games.
Mo, what's your thoughts?
I think they should raise it to 8 wins to get into a bowl game. I don't think it should be able to be 6-6 or 6-7 and make a bowl game. That's ridiculous.
Okay, that's I like that part.
Yeah, I like that answer.
Okay, Dana, what's your thoughts?
Yeah, I kind of agree with Mo. I mean, you can 6 games, that gets you to a bowl game. I mean, you could barely try.
Okay, Rich, what's your thoughts? Rich, you out there? Rich?
My fault. I think they should eliminate a bunch of these bowl games. I mean, I understand that it's about the money for the kids and the the schools and all that kind of stuff, but for the athletic department. But it's out of control now. Like Snoop Dogg has a bowl. Why?
Matthew, what's your thoughts?
You know what I mean?
I feel like they should keep the bowl games, but it needs to be the bowl games that brought in the most attendance. So, like for example, they did the Pop Tart Bowl. That's been going well each year, and then they're testing out a few new ones. So like there's people that like video games, so they're doing like a new one that they just did in Texas. It's the Alamo Bowl. They called it, I think, the Xbox Bowl.
Okay, so you
So
think
like the
you
winner gets
so
like a gaming controller trophy and the overall plaque thing.
so you're
But
saying
other than that, I feel like they've got to bring in bowl games that are like bring in that attendance. Because there's some bowl games I've watched and there's little attendance because the advertisement and promotion wasn't there.
okay. So so you're thinking that the attendance should be a factor in the bowl games, which I get that, but then every team changes a bowl game every year. They probably won't be in the same bowl game. Um, like I'm gonna give you for example, like Penn State, they're all their starters are not playing in the bowl game, right? So the backups to the backups will be playing in a bowl game, but you're playing a bowl game in New York on um Yankee Stadium, the Pinstripe Bowl.
Oh,
Now,
the Pinstripe Bowl.
yeah, so I'm gonna say this. I think if you're gonna have a bowl game, they should be in a dome or in warm weather because again, you got Penn State who's 6-5 going to a bowl game. If you're not a dedicated Penn State fan, why you want to sit out in that cold weather? You know what I'm saying? I mean, the drive ain't that far, but then you got to pay for hotel room, and it ain't, and like New York ain't like it's like it's not nowhere to park in New York. So now you got to park your car. You got to find somewhere to park your car. If you're in a hotel, maybe don't have parking, got to park across the street. You got to go put coins in the thing or use your credit card to pay for parking. There's a lot to that. A lot of things that underline that a lot of people are not realizing because there's not a lot of parking space, not a lot of parking spaces there. Um, but that's a bowl game they need to eliminate. When they came up with that bowl game, I was like, what in the world is going on here? Because if you're going to celebrate a team that's 6-5 that has a winning record, right? Then I think they should be allowed to go somewhere warm, even if it's Tennessee where the weather is decent, Alabama, Georgia. I mean, you got all kind of places out west they could go to. So maybe they could change some of the bowl games to be in a better atmosphere. Then we should. I would be okay with that. But I like Mo's answer that it should be 8 games that um there's 8 games. You should have to win 8 games to get a bowl bid, and that way that eliminates a lot of the other bowls. You know, because then you still have the East-West bowl game, then you have the Senior Bowl game. So you have those bowl games for guys that maybe not get to the bowl, but they still get an opportunity to be seen by pro scouts and things of that nature. So I like the 8 game situation. I like that, Mo. That's real. That's some really good thinking. Um, Next up, guys, Michigan's looking for a coach. Anybody heard anybody's name other than the coach from Alabama, which I don't think he's leaving now. Or maybe let me rephrase this. So if Alabama loses, his name's gonna be brought up. If Alabama loses the national championship game, his name's gonna be brought up. So so is Michigan gonna wait till January 19th to come out and say who the coach is gonna be, or do they hire a coach prior to that? Because his name been attached to them for the longest time. He said he doesn't want to. He wants to stay he wants to stay in Alabama, right? And I can understand that. But the fans are they there's some fans they want that game against Oklahoma when they was down 17-0. They was calling his name. And they ended up winning the game. Now they're praising them. I call them fair weather fans for real, because if if you ain't down with me when I'm winning and you ain't down with me when I'm losing, then I don't even want you as a fan. So Mo, give me your thoughts.
Still a fan.
Give me. So Mo, give me
Mike Tomlin.
give me your thoughts.
Hey, wait a minute.
Give
wait
me
a
your
minute,
thoughts.
Wait a minute.
No,
wait a minute.
no, we're not getting off track.
As Augusta would say,
We're not getting off
watch
track.
it, sucker.
Mo, what's your thoughts on
Still a fan.
Michigan
Fake.
and anybody else's name you heard as a coach for Michigan going forward?
Man, I told y'all this, that Caitlin DeVore's name was going to be the biggest one as soon as he became available.
So, but my
I think
but my other question
I
to you
think
was, so if Alabama gets to the national championship and loses, because that's the only way he gonna end up leaving, should Michigan wait till January 19th?
yeah, Michigan might as well wait until everybody's out to figure out who is interested.
Okay.
There's some teams in there that Michigan is a better opportunity than teams that are already in. Even Ole Miss.
Okay. Well,
Michigan is a better opportunity than that.
well,
So, but they also are losing out if Ole Miss actually gets the coach that they want. So that's the other thing they got to worry about.
okay. You going to comment on something else? Mo, were you done?
You want me to talk about them talking about Steelers fans?
No, I want to see if you were done.
That was messed up. Yeah, I'm done.
Okay. Dana, Michigan, what they do? How did they handle the situation?
Who?
Michigan, how do they handle the situation? Are they going to wait to if Alabama loses?
Go
ahead.
I think they're gonna wait till after the season. I think they're gonna wait till after the playoffs. If you lose the playoffs, they're probably gonna come at it hard, like a full pimp.
Okay. Curry, what's your thoughts?
I ain't got a clue. To be honest with you, what I think they were going to do, I don't know.
Okay. Matthew, thoughts?
My thoughts with Michigan right now. There's 3 candidates right now I could see becoming the new head coach. Number 3, Jed Fish, who's currently the head coach from Washington, because back in 2006,
Yes, I remember
he was the coordinator for Michigan for 3 years. Number 2 would be DeBoer, because if Alabama, like you said, if they were to lose in this next round or in Maddie, Michigan may offer a amount or a buyout over Bama depending on how their boosters are doing. And number 1, and this is hidden because he did announce that he's not retiring, and he's in the coach's carol, and that is Kyle Whittingham, the former head coach from Utah.
Okay.
And I think, and I always say Whittingham because if he brings in the talent, because he is a good recruiter, because he's been with them since 2003, right when Urban Meyer was in that era with Utah. So I think if Michigan wants, I feel like we'll find out if Alabama continues to win out, I think it's going down to Whittingham and Fish.
Okay. All right, great. All right, let's move on to the NFL. Did you guys see the Pro Bowl selection? Anybody see that?
Nope.
Okay.
You did it already?
Yep, it's already out.
Yep.
It's already out. Okay.
Yep. Ravens got like 25 players in, and they ain't gonna have no playoffs.
So, the 2026 NFL Pro Bowl AFC NFC roster, the league top players. Now, again, I'm not even. I don't think they should be playing flag football. I don't think you should do nothing. If they go to the Pro Bowl, give them a free trip to Hawaii and relax and chill. Have a ceremony, show their highlights, give them a little trophy, and send them on the way. They don't even need to play. Because what we're seeing right now is not what me and Curry saw growing up as a kid. Actually, I don't know about the rest of y'all, but when me and Curry was growing up, the college players played against the pro players. And those were some good games. They stopped that, right? Then the NFL went to flag football. Then they went to two-hand touch. Now they play the game with play the game. They're playing the game in sand, and somebody got hurt in the sand. You know, the whole thing about if you want to keep your product healthy, then don't even get on the field. That's just my personal opinion. There's no need to play the game at all. And let your stats make you the all-pro quarterback, running back, wide receiver. Those stats is what you get there. Your play does, but your stats tell the story of you being an all-pro, not just to the Pro Bowl. I think that's where they need to go with this and be done with it. Go to Hawaii, take your family to Hawaii, take whoever you want to Hawaii, and have a good time. Have a ceremony, show your highlights, and let it be what it is. And then let whoever picks the pro team pick all pro. Whoever picks those, let them pick them. So Buffalo has Josh Allen, James Cook, and offensive tackle Dawkins. Miami has running back A-Chain. The Patriots have Christian Gonzalez corner and Drake May quarterback. The Jets have nobody, zero, zilch. After losing season another year without a Pro Bowl selection, the Jets' top candidate was the field goal kicker Nick Folk. Didn't get in. Did you know the Jets have gone 10 straight years without a Pro Bowl player in the offense? The last was Brandon Marshall, 2015. It's rather remarkable considering they invest heavily on that side of the ball. 13 first round and second round picks over that span. Let me go back. Let me do the teams that we like. Okay, so Miami, it says, did you know in just three seasons, NFL A-Chain 24 is already in the Dolphins' 8th leading rusher at 2,974 yards as of week 16. Okay. The Jets, we talked about the Jets. Baltimore, let's talk about Baltimore. Rickard joined a select group for becoming one of the 7 Ravens selected to the six or more Pro Bowls. Of the previous 6, 3 are in the Hall of Fame. Jonathan Ogden, Ray Lewis, and Ed Reed. 2 others are semifinals for this year's Hall of Fame class, Terrell Suggs and Yandy. The only undrafted player who made more Pro Bowls for the Ravens than Rickard is Justin Tucker, field goal kicker, which we know he's not getting in Hall of Fame. He's not getting Hall of Fame. Cincinnati Bengals have Jamar Chase. Cleveland Browns has Myles Garrett and Denzel Ward. Did you know Ward with the fifth Pro Bowl selection passes Frank Miniford for the most Pro Bowl selections by Browns corner. Pittsburgh has free safety Jalen Ramsey, special teams wide receiver Ben Skowronek, and outside linebacker T.J. Watt. Did you know that Skowronek first bowl selection the Steelers have in recent years of special teams earning Pro Bowl odds? Miles Killebrew was named to the Pro Bowl 2024-25 for special teams. Killebrew? Yeah, Killebrew, I'm sorry. Houston, Texas has Alshire, linebacker, defensive end Anderson, wide receiver Nico Collins, quarterback Derek Stingley Jr. Colts have 2, Quentin Nelson and Jonathan Taylor. Jacksonville has long snapper Ross Machik or something like that. I'm pretty sure that if one of the quarterbacks drop out, they get one of those quarterbacks. If Daniel Jones, not Daniel, but if May or the quarterback in Buffalo, if they go to a bowl, he might be the next selected to go in. Tennessee Titans has kick return Shamir Dyke and defensive tackle Jeffrey Simmons. Denver Broncos have 6. Defensive tackle Zach Allen, offensive tackle Garrett Bowles, offensive lineman Nick Bottini, offensive guard Quinn Merez, cornerback Patrick Surtain II, wide receiver Cortland Sutton. Kansas City Chiefs has 4. Corner Creed Murphy, defensive tackle Chris Jones, tight end Travis Kelce, and offensive guard Trey Simmons. I don't know how Travis Kelce got in there. I'm a little shocked at that one. Las Vegas Raiders have tight end Brock Brock Bowers, who's hurt, I think, so somebody would probably take his place. Defensive end Max Crosby, who probably won't be on that team next year. The Los Angeles Chargers has 5. They have offensive tackle Joe Alt, punt kicker Cameron Dicker, quarterback Justin Herbert, safety Derwin James Jr., and linebacker Lapa, something like that. Dallas Cowboys have 5. Kicker Brandon Ayuk. Hey, listen to this, Mo. Wide receiver George Pickens. Quarterback Dak Prescott. Offensive tackle Tyler Smith. Defensive tackle Quentin Williams. Now, how do you get Quentin? I'm just okay. Did you know with Tyler Smith selection?
Did I ask a question on that, because
Yes.
since you brought it up?
Go ahead.
Are you Dallas Cowboys going to the playoffs?
No.
Are the Pittsburgh Steelers going to the playoffs?
We don't know yet.
Okay.
It's still open for.
At least we know we got a chance.
It's still open for discussion. Did you with Tyler Smith selection? The Cowboys have had at least
George Pickens.
one offensive lineman pick for the Pro Bowl in the last 22 of 25 seasons. The only time that line was not represented came in 2002, 2011, 2012. So apparently they draft well. They just don't play well. That's all I can say about that one. Giants have 1. Linebacker Brian Burns. Philadelphia Eagles have 5. Zach Braun. Offensive tackle Jalen Carter. Cooper DeJean. Cam Jurgensen and Quentin Mitchell. Washington has 1. The punter Tress Way. Chicago has 3. Kevin Bryant III. Free safety corner Drew Dahlman and offensive tackle Joe Toomey. So Joe Toomey still got some in it. He's making a Pro Bowl. The Detroit Lions, who's outside looking in, they have 5. Linebacker Jack Campbell, running back Gibbs, defensive end Aiden Hutchinson, offensive tackle Penn Sewell, wide receiver Amon-Ra St. Brown. Packers have 1. Michael Parsons. Minnesota Vikings have 0. Did you know this season was the third in team history without a single player chosen for initial Pro Bowl season? The other 2 were 1983 and 2014. Falcons have 2. Offensive guard Christian Lamstrom, running back Bijan Robinson. Carolina has 1. Cornerback J.C. Horn. Saints have 0. Did you know Juwan Johnson was briefly among the top 10 tight ends in the fan voting portion, but no Saints players made the top 10 at their position when the final fan votes were tallied. Former Saints wide receiver kicker returner Rashid Shaheed, who was sent to the Seahawks at the trade deadline this year, made the Pro Bowl as a return specialist after returning 2 kicks touchdowns for Seattle. Tampa Bay has 2. Free safety Antoine Winfrey Jr. He's still playing. Wow. Offensive tackle Tristan Wirth. Cardinals have 2. Safety Buda Baker, and tight end Trey McBride. The Rams has 4. Puka Nacua. Quarterback Matthew Stafford. Linebacker Jared Verse. Brian Young, linebacker. San Francisco has 6. Offensive tackle Trent Williams. Fullback Kyle Jurisky. Tight end George Kittles. Running back Christian McCaffrey. Long snapper John Weeks. Special teams player Luke Gifford. Did you know for the 49ers, Williams, the 12th Pro Bowl selection, ties him with the Hall of Famer Randall McDaniel and Will Shields for the second most by any offensive lineman in the league. With 2 more nods, Williams can tie Bruce Matthews 14 for the most ever. Seattle Seahawks, Sam Darnold, quarterback. Defensive end, DeMarcus Lawrence. Kick returner, Rashid Shaheed. Wide receiver, Jackson Smith Njigba. Defensive lineman, Leonard Williams. Cornerback, Devon Witherspoon. Did you know Witherspoon is the 4th Seattle Seahawks player to be named to the Pro Bowl in each of his first 3 seasons? Junior linebacker Freddie Young, Lofa Tuupo, quarterback Russell Wilson. His latest selection is a testament to what McDaniel has said recently about how well Witherspoon is playing despite non-consistently filling up the stat sheet. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. The 2026 Pro Bowl AFC NFC. Players who absolutely should have got in. Jordan Love. Anybody disagree with Jordan Love? Christian Overlay for New Orleans Saints. Kobe Turner, defensive tackle for the Rams. Jordan Brooks, linebacker for Miami. Ernest Jones, the fifth, Seattle. Lane Johnson, offensive tackle, Philadelphia. Josh Hill Allen, offensive linebacker, outside linebacker for Jacksonville Jaguars. Alec Ingold, fullback for Miami. Ryan Wright, punter for Minnesota. Ronnie Stanley, offensive tackle for Baltimore. Kevin Dotson, guard for Los Angeles Rams. Isaac Somalio, guard for Pittsburgh. Chase Young, outside linebacker for New Orleans Saints. Tyler Ward, tight end for Indianapolis Colts. Nashawn Bright, cornerback for Chicago Bears. Were all snubs, but they'll probably get in if somebody one of the teams go to Super Bowl, then they'll probably go into the Hall of Fame. Do you guys think that the player, huh? Would you say no?
You said Hall of Fame.
No, I'm saying. I mean, I'm to say some of them will go into Pro Bowl if the when teams go to the two teams that go to Super Bowl, they'll probably replace some of the players. But let me ask you guys a question: should the fans pick the players, or should the players pick the players?
And
Why you say the fans, Dana?
Fans.
I mean, the players don't count. If the fans don't come, you don't have a game. You have COVID game.
I get your point, but go ahead.
I just think the fans, with the money involved with the fans. I know. I mean, you don't DK Metcalf the fans, but I'm just saying, you just gotta. I think you gotta give it to the fans. That's all.
So let me ask you guys. So let me ask you guys a question, okay? And it's kind of hard for me because I like two teams in two different divisions, so I'm always actively watching football at some point in time. Curry, outside of the Dolphins, who else do you watch NFL wise?
I watch them all.
Okay. Do you I mean, do you like with me, when the Browns and Rams are on, I won't leave my TV until there's a commercial. If I think I'm gonna be going more than
I'm kind of that same way.
2 minutes, I put it on pause and I fast track it to when they're playing. But if I'm watching the Steelers, the Cincinnati Bengals, or the Ravens, I don't put it on pause. I still watch some of the game, but I don't watch the whole game. I watch some of it because I think the game's gonna be good, or I think it has something to do with the outcome of my team. Like Monday night, I was trying to get back to my house to watch the 49ers game because I wanted to see how well Phillip Rivers played, right? But we had this little situation, right? So I didn't get back, and by the time I got back, I saw school. I said, I'm not watching this, and they had another quarterback in. The only reason why I asked that question is because as fans, we don't watch all the games. You know what I'm saying? We may watch the highlights, but we don't watch all the games. And that's why I think the players should pick the starters. The fans pick the reserves, right? Because all the left tackles know who's the best tackle out there. You know what I'm saying? And and the thing about it, you can't vote for yourself, so somebody else will vote for you. But it becomes a popularity thing. It's not as bad as the NBA though, because the NBA is terrible. The NBA is all about the fans. That's why the fans is allowed to vote. And if we get an opportunity, we'll talk about that sometimes part of the night as well. So, do anybody agree with me on that? I just think that the players know the players. They know who's good, who's great. You know, they may say, well, I feel, if you talk to them, I'm the best left tackle in the business, right? But then you go look at the stats and you give up a half a sack every other game or something like that, and the guy, your competition, don't give up any sacks at all. He may give up, like he may get rushed, or he may get guy may get a touch, but not a sack. Stat wise, you have better stats than him, you know. But you use that when you go to negotiation table as well. When you have a left tackle over here that's making $5 million and you only making $1 million, and you compare your notes to his notes, but that guy, especially if that guy's been a Pro Bowler and you're not, they're gonna say, well, he's a Pro Bowler, but you're not. But your stats are better than his. That's why I'm saying I think in football it should be the players that pick the stars and the fans pick the reserves. Anybody agree or disagree with that? Does that sound like logic?
Yeah.
Okay.
Nah,
Okay. Because because if you look at the NFL stats right now,
I don't
2020.
agree with that, Kev.
Okay, why don't you agree with it?
You said the team picked the Pro Bowlers, or the fans picked the starters. Which one did you say?
The players pick the starters. The fans pick the reserve players. That's what.
No, I don't agree with that, because all it is because a lot of the players also have money built into their contract on making the Pro Bowl.
Right. But do you
All
think
it becomes is a popularity contest for the people if the fans are voting for it?
right? That's my whole point though, because like I just my scenario was I got left tackle A that has his stats is not as good as left tackle B, and left tackle A gives up at least a half a sack every other game, and left tackle B doesn't give up any tackles. I mean, no quarterback tackles, but the tackle A goes to the Pro Bowl. I mean, he goes to the Hall of Fame. I mean, to the Pro Bowl, right?
Pro Bowl.
So he goes to Pro Bowl, but his stats ain't better than tackle B, right? But then when you go to the negotiation table and say, okay, well, I want to negotiate because I want to make more than tackle A, they say, well, he been to the Pro Bowl. Okay, so let's look at our stats. If my stats is better than his, then I should get paid just as much as him or more, right? So that's where that comes into play, right? But the fans know that, but they don't know that in detail. I think the fans is more of a favorite. Like, come on, Kelce. Why is Kelce getting into the Hall of Fame? I don't think he's been an impact player to a team more than Warner did for the Colts. I think he should get in. If you look at the numbers, his numbers are probably way better than Kelce's. We know Kelce's not a block. He's not a blocking tight end. He's a catching tight end. But that's what I'm saying though. That's why I think that the players know, and the players, they got to be real about it. They can't hate on it. But the thing about it is the players can't go vote for themselves. They have to vote for somebody else. You know what I'm saying? So you can't really hate on another player, but you have to. That's something you have to vote on. But if you let the fans do it, then the fans gonna vote for their favorite player all the time, regardless of what the stats look like. That's all I'm saying. And I get your point. I get Dana's point too. But I'm just saying I think maybe they should change up a little bit. Because if you look at the stats right now, all right, passing, you got Stafford, Dak, Goff, May, and Sam Darnold. They're all from all but one is from the AFC, right? You look at defensive tackles, you got Brooks from Miami, you got White from Vegas, Campbell from Detroit, Wagner from Washington, and Swagner from Cleveland, right? You got 160, 169, 160, 159, 147, 147, right? And if I'm not mistaken, nobody from Denver got in. But he's a second leading tackler on the defensive side of the football. So why shouldn't he get in? Then you look at the running backs, okay? You got Cook, who got 1,500 yards. You got Taylor, who got 1,400 yards. You got A-Chain, who got 1,200 yards. You got Henry has 1,200 yards. You have Bijan Robinson has 1,200 yards. Why Henry's not getting into the Hall of Fame, right? If you want to go off stats, because he's fourth. So it'd be Taylor and him. Well, it'd be three of them. It'd be Taylor, Chain, And Henry in the AFC, it'd be well 4. That's your 4 right there. You got Cook, Taylor, A-Chain, and Henry. And the weird part about it, guys, think about this. But Buffalo ain't really had no bad weather up there, but he's leading the league in rushing, and the weather's been in their favor. But you got look, I just named 5 guys, and Henry's not even mentioned as a Hall of Fame, like going to the Pro Bowl. Sacks, you got Myles Garrett from Cleveland, you got Burns from New York, Josh, you got Hunter from Houston, you got the guy Tupulolo from from Chargers, you got Nick Bognini from Denver. So you got 3 out of 5 that's going to the Pro Bowl. Gary got 15. I mean, Gary got 22. Burns got 15. Hunter got 13. Tupelo has 13, and Bonini has 12. But I didn't hear Hunter's name. Did I mention Hunter's name? I mean, Burns' name going to the Pro Bowl. So that's what I'm saying. I think that they need to fix this thing. Now the wide receivers, they got it right, because Smith Najiba, how you pronounce his name? You got him, Puka, Perkins, Pickens, Chase, and Brown. They're all going to a Pro Bowl. You know what I'm saying? So they kind of got that right. So I'm just saying, I think sometimes, but again, hopefully they will change this up and not even play a game, because it's not even worth watching. Because I'm telling you right now, I don't watch the Pro Bowl game. I do not watch the Pro Bowl game.
I think the last time I watched the Pro Bowl game was when Peyton Manning and Jeff Saturday played together for that one play, and that was it.
Wow. And now, so you got the Christmas Day games coming up. Can somebody please explain to me, why is Dallas and Detroit playing on Christmas? Then they play on Thanksgiving. What is going on? What is going on? What is going on? Dallas at Washington, 1:00 game. Detroit at Minnesota, 4:00 game. Denver at Kansas City, 8:00 game. Denver got to win because they still in the running for #1 seed. Detroit has to win to stay in the runners. Dallas and Washington are eliminated. But you have Dallas and Detroit playing on Thanksgiving. And I'm not saying I don't want to see them play, but man, that's unfair to their families. They're playing on Thanksgiving, and then they're playing on Christmas. Now they're both playing away, but again, I'd have rather seen Baltimore at Green Bay. I'd rather see Houston at Los Angeles. What else is going on? Seattle at Carolina. Philadelphia, Buffalo.
If you look at that, those 2 teams from the schedules of last year, especially considering the season that Washington had last year, and that would have been a pretty good game on paper from the starting of the season.
Right.
But nobody expected Washington to fall on their face like they did. And then Kansas City's playing that game. It probably was a good game on paper too, as well. So I think they had some good matchups, but I just don't think that they expected the team to fall off the map the way they did.
Yeah, because my whole thing is though about Dallas and Detroit being on Thanksgiving, then they'd be on Christmas Day again. And the thing about it is, Dallas is eliminated, so we're not gonna hear nothing. We're not gonna hear nothing from the Dallas fans if they win at all. They're not gonna hear nothing. Detroit, they gotta win. Denver gotta win. So there's two games that definitely gonna be high watching value. But one's on Netflix and one's on Prime Video. So if you don't have Netflix or Prime Video, you're not gonna be able to watch the game. Then you have to.
And the bad part about it is you can't flex those games. Those Thursday games, you can't flex them.
Exactly. And then you have, then you have Houston and Los Angeles. That's gonna be a good game. Chargers, and you got Baltimore at Green Bay, which is gonna be a good game. The game's on Sunday. Pittsburgh at Cleveland. That should be a good game because Metcalf won't be playing that game. We're gonna talk about that in a minute. Jacksonville at Indianapolis, Tampa at Miami, New England at the Jets, Seattle and Carolina, that's the game to watch for real, for real. That's one of the better games. That's at 1, and then um you got Philadelphia at Buffalo. That should be a good game. Chicago at San Francisco. That's a good game. And then you got Rams in Atlanta at Monday night. So you got 3 or 4 good games that should be playing on the Christmas holiday weekend. Mo, let's talk about this DK Metcalf situation here. So I looked at the video. I can't tell if he slapped him or not because the dude had on blue hair. So did he actually slap the guy?
He swung at it, but he didn't hit him. He swung at it, but he didn't hit him.
So the reason he went over there because the guy looked like the guy had a Pittsburgh Steelers hat in his hand, right? And he's hoping that he was signing.
It was a DK jersey.
Okay, DK jersey. And so, and I want to assume it's a grown man. And I'm gonna say this: if I'm a professional athlete, I'm not signing anything for grown men because I know they probably gonna auction that thing off to make some money. If it's a kid, I'll sign it. I sign all day for the kid. Now, if the parents take it from them, that's on them. The parents feel that. If the parents feel like they need the money that bad, then that's on them. But I'm not. When I would go to games, I would never ask for no signature for anything. I would take my son to go get a signature, or I'd take my daughter and go get a signature. Now, when I met JoJo White, that was a whole different story because I met him physically. We talked and we had a conversation. You know what I'm saying? When I met Cedric Maxwell, we talked, we had a conversation. I took pictures with him. Dana Barrows,
during the game?
Kenny Anderson.
Yes.
Huh? What'd you say, Mo?
Was that during the game?
No, you talking about with talking to Maxwell?
Did these guys ever sign something for you during the game?
No. Now, when I was a kid growing up, I got Quinn Buckner's signature. I got a bunch of pictures of those guys. I never didn't get any signatures. The only people I never got pictures of was Larry Bird, Kevin McHale. No, this is before the game. Kevin McHale, Robert Parrish.
I'm trying to make my point, Kev.
Not during the game. No. Like, well, I'm
There's
saying
no way that DK went over there and signed something during the game.
That's my whole point, though. But what I'm saying to this right at this point, if he's a grown man, I'm not signing anything for a grown man because you know they're gonna sell it because that's how they are. If it's a kid, it's a different story. But I know DK said he wants to he's fighting it, but was there any words exchanged? Only thing I heard was somebody said DK don't autograph what he has. That's all I heard. I heard that part. I didn't hear if I didn't. No.
Okay, so let's take it back.
Okay.
Last year, this fan was reported by DK.
Yes, yeah, I heard. Yeah, I read that part.
To Seattle.
Up in Seattle, yes.
To the Seattle security team.
Okay.
Why was he in the stadium?
Wow. Well, maybe that's why he had the blue hair on.
Not only that. Wait a minute, Matthew. I'm not done.
Go ahead.
Do you think DK went over there and signed something if he knows it's the same fan?
But why would he swing at him? Why? My question is, why would he go if he knows it's the same fan?
As a man, DK said that he said the N-word. Then there's also something out there saying that he said something about his mother.
Okay.
I don't think it's from this year. And the fan is right saying that he didn't say it this year. I think he said it last year.
Okay.
And DK was saying, "Oh, I got you now."
Oh, okay. That kind of makes sense. But now again, the discipline of DK was not to go over and say nothing to the guy. Because now he's suspended for 2 games that you guys definitely need to win.
He shouldn't have. But let's talk about this as men. If you see a dude that says some BS to you before, and you reported it to somebody else because you didn't want to handle it, when you see that dude again, where he shouldn't be, where you think he shouldn't be, aren't you gonna handle it?
I'm going to report it again. That's what I would have did. because
I
because
ain't reporting it again because obviously the reporting didn't work the first time.
well, but if the thing about it is, if he's from Seattle, then did Pittsburgh play
The
Seattle?
dude is from Detroit. Seattle was in Detroit last year.
So the dude's from Detroit. Is
Yeah,
it?
he's
So
a Detroit Lions fan.
so he
He
went
did
to
it to DK against Seattle, and then he did it again this year against Pittsburgh.
Seattle to see Pittsburgh play. So he got so it's something personal with DK. That's what.
No, it's personal with DK and Detroit both years.
Oh, but but you said he lives in Detroit, right?
The fan is from Detroit.
Okay.
DK, Seattle went to Detroit last
This
year.
year, okay.
Pittsburgh went to Detroit this year.
Okay. So the thing about it now, my thing is I want to go back and look at what he's if they had any conversation with each other last year, and
What was reported last year.
but now the thing about it is, did he have on blue hair last year? Because he don't, because at the thing they still said that the 2 game suspension is upheld, so he'll be out for 2 games. But my whole thing is like as men, as a professional athlete, there's certain things that you just gotta take on the chin and keep it moving. Because there are people out there hating on you, no matter who you are.
Yeah.
They hating on you because they don't like you. They hating on you because you're making millions of dollars. They hating on your skin color. They hating on a whole lot of things, right? So if that was the same guy, what Metcalf should have did was told the security, like, yo, this dude, I had a situation with this dude before. Can your guys remove him? And when they go back and go back and research it, now they got to remove the guy from the field. But again, I think not. Me personally, I wouldn't went over there to him. I would just left it alone. I wouldn't entertain them because this could hurt Pittsburgh chances of maybe winning the division or maybe not getting the playoffs at all. But I understand. I mean, as a man, you got to do what you got to do sometimes. But at the same token, you got to think about what you're doing. And there's consequences behind. There's you got to be accountable for your actions. And I'm sorry that DK did that because he's on my fantasy team. I might lose because of him.
Where is it upheld? I don't see it upheld yet.
Oh, it just came across my he appealed it yesterday, and it just came across my screen that it's been upheld on my phone. So you should see something here shortly.
Oh, I don't see that yet.
Anybody else got any questions or comments on the Metcalf situation?
Yeah.
Go ahead, Matthew.
There's a lot of problems with that. So I get like what everyone here was saying, but the big problem here, I think, is where was Detroit Lions team security at? For instance, is during that whole altercation, they did not intervene. Because normally when this happens, team security or league security gets involved immediately. We've seen it from past experiences. And in this scenario, that was not the case. And on top of that, the reason why DK is trying to not get suspended is not only because of the scenario that Pittsburgh is in right now, but when DK signed his contract with Pittsburgh, in road print, there is that sign that says if he gets any type of major suspension, the league and the team financially will look at it and decide upon that point after if he will get his $45 million add-on.
Whoa.
So until it becomes official from the league, if he is going to be suspended for 2 games or whatnot, there's a possibility that DK will begin that 45 mil, or his agent telling him, hey, you need to do this immediately because you're going to lose $45 million.
So Matthew, you being a Seattle Seahawks fan, has there been issues with him off the field, like with tempers or because for him to to sign a contract where he could lose $45 million if he gets suspended, there had to be some altercations prior to this that they would implement that into his contract.
The only altercation that I potentially seen him have in Seattle, like Mo mentioned, was with him last year. But other than that, if he did have any, it had been within inside the locker room with players that were like top stars at times. So like maybe him and Russ didn't get along, or maybe him and Carroll didn't get along, and it reached up to Schneider. So when they did trade him to Pittsburgh, that ownership let Pittsburgh ownership know, and Tomlin know, hey, he had that temper at this scenario just in case. And Pittsburgh probably told Zayden, hey, this is what we're going to do, and this is where we're at now.
Yeah, because he doesn't seem like that type of player, man. Anybody disagree with me on that? He just don't seem like that. He don't give me the
Oh yeah, I disagree.
he doesn't give me the George Pickens
Dude got attitude.
platform. I don't think it's attitude, man. I think it's just that he wants to win. He just wants to win football games. So you think it's
He's got an attitude there.
Okay.
He's been in many altercations with other players.
okay? See,
How you don't remember when Seattle used to play St. Louis, when he and Ramsey used to go after it?
well, no, Ramsey was, but no, it wasn't DK though. Ramsey had the issue with they would go at it, but somebody
Yes,
else.
he was. That's why everybody was laughing.
It was
That's why they were laughing. They on the same team now.
Oh man, I remember. I thought it was somebody else.
Look it up. They've had plenty battles.
Okay. I'm just saying. I just don't. He doesn't seem like that kind of guy to me. But to put that in the contract, that's
Yeah.
something else, man. And it came across my screen again. It's been
Yeah.
upheld. So
It's in the contract. Yes,
Yeah.
it's in the contract. Now they can take away money from his signing bonus. They can void the rest of his years in his contract.
Wow. That's
If they do that, if they do that, that fan, depending on what he does, because there's already lawyers and attorneys are waiting for this final decision because they want to try and have that fan take Metcalf to civil court on that.
wow.
The league hasn't done nothing about the fan at all.
Yo, he bit the bait, man. That's sad. That's really sad. $45 million over something like that. Wow. All right,
Yeah, I
guys.
just read that Metcalf did feel his suspension, but it was the suspension is upheld, so he will miss 2 games without pay.
Damn. $45 million, ladies and gentlemen.
They're gonna make sure the Ravens lose this week.
Ooh, $45 million, ladies and gentlemen. This guy he lost $45 million. This dude baited him into losing $45 million. Listen to me really good. $45 million. And could void his contract. $45 million. He baited him into losing 40. Oh my Lord.
Whoa, 46 don't get $500,000 per the next 2 games.
I'm telling you right now, if I was a pro athlete, I would never get a DUI because somebody's gonna drive me everywhere I go. I would never get into I'd never get into domestic violence at all because I'm a party at home, and I'm only had select few come to my house. You know what I'm saying? The worst thing they can probably say is Kevin had a hangover, he couldn't come to practice. I would not. There's no way I could let somebody bait me into doing something like that. Yeah, you could talk about anybody in the world you want to talk about. And I would say to them, but they talked about Jesus, so I'm okay with that. But oh my Lord. Oof. And if Pittsburgh,
You walked away from almost 100.
and if Pittsburgh loses these last 2 games, which they shouldn't, and they're gonna look back at this situation, he might not come back. Pittsburgh might not bring him back, man. That's huge. That's huge. All right, guys. Looking at the playoff situation, we're at 7:42 right now. We got 15 minutes left. New England's in, Buffalo's in. Pittsburgh and Baltimore still up in the air. Jacksonville Jaguars 11-4. Rich, they're in. Texas 10-5, still waiting around. Denver Chargers are in. Eagles are in. If we think about last year, we'd have thought that Eagles and the Commanders would have definitely been in. We was a little iffy on Buffalo. I mean, but we was a little iffy on Chicago. I mean, a little iffy on Dallas. Think about last year. We thought that Detroit. I felt Detroit's window was closed, and I thought Green Bay would have been the winner. But right now, Chicago is 11-4. They've clinched. Did they clinch? They did clinch the division. They got an X behind it, right? That means X means clinch the playoff. It's 11. There's only 2 weeks left, right? Yeah. Okay. So they got 2 weeks left. So if they lose both games, they're 11 and they'll be 11-6. Green Bay could still win 11-5 and 1 would have happened. Okay. So they clinched the playoff. Green Bay still has a chance. Detroit has a chance. Carolina 8-7. Tampa Bay is 7-8. Carolina is leading the division right now. They have to win out, I think, to get in. Again, they do play Tampa again, I think, last game of the season. The NFC West is the most competitive right now. I think it was like week 7 or 8. I said I had picked 49ers to win the division because of the schedule. And I said that I could see 2 teams come out of there. I didn't think Seattle was going to be as good as they are. They got a great defense.
I don't know why you keep saying you because of the schedule.
The reason why I said at the beginning of the year, the reason why I said San Francisco should win the division because they had one of the easier schedules. That's what I said at the beginning of the season.
According to who?
I said that at the beginning of the season because we talked about strength of schedule. I said San Francisco is one of the bottom 5 feeders. I said them and the Patriots have the easiest schedule going forward for the year, strength of schedule. I said so if they could, I said if San Francisco can stay healthy, they should win the division. I didn't pick the Rams to win the division. I picked San Francisco to win the division. That's why I picked. I did not pick the Rams. I picked the Rams to make the playoffs.
I'm thinking about the teams that we played outside of the division. Outside of the Giants and the Titans, we got Carolina. Granted, they're 500 team, right above 500. They lead their division. We got the Jaguars, who beat us.
Right, but I mean,
about 500.
But at the beginning of the year, we looked at the schedule and we looked from like Curry said. It
turned out that we had one of the toughest schedules.
Let me see. At week,
we got Chicago, Seattle, and the Colts this week.
At week 12, then you were in the top 5. I think it was you, Chicago, and I want to say Chicago. It was you, Chicago, Dallas, and somebody else, and I can't think who the 15. They had the toughest schedule at week 12 when we talked about it before. But at the beginning of the season, if you're going off of last season, like I said, like we said, like Curry said before, we looked at the NFC East. We were looking at the Eagles and the Commanders making the playoffs. We looking at I picked Green Bay to win the division. I didn't think Chicago was going to be 11-4. I picked Detroit to make the division. I still didn't believe in McCarthy with the Vikings. We all picked Tampa Bay to win the division in the NFC South. I think Mo picked the Rams to win the division in the West. Denver. I mean, in the AFC West, I had Denver. We all had Houston. Everybody but Mo had Baltimore, and everybody in the AFC had Buffalo over the Patriots. So again, even you look at the strength of schedule at the beginning of the year, then you go to week 12, when that's when it really matters. Like when after November, when you look at the strength of schedule, that's when it really matters because now everybody has been identified as who they are. So that's why I get your point though. But at the beginning of the season, I said that they was going. I said Seattle. I said the 49ers should win the division. So we're going to see a lot of good football coming up really, really soon, guys. And it's going to be exciting. I mean, I can't remember the last time you had. So let me ask you guys a question. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. You got 11 teams out of what 30 teams, almost half. They have double digit wins. Is the league should the league do expansion, bring in 2 more teams, or should they leave it like it is right now and let's figure this thing out? I don't I don't
U2 team.
I mean, because if you look at the point differential, like if you look at Miami, who's 6-9, right? Who won a few games in a row. Points for is like 317, points against is 369. So there were games where they probably were in it in the fourth quarter and it got away from them. Um, and you look at Cleveland, who's 246 to 355. That's over. That's like not what's that's 100 some points. There are some things there's a lot they need to get better at. Where you look at Miami, dude, you may look at Miami and say, well, we need to do this, or we need to get this person, or we need to get that person with free agency. We can tweak it here or there and see what we got. Now, again, I think the Patriots have 10 draft picks, Miami and a few other Miami, Cleveland, Rams, and I think the Saints all have 9 draft picks coming up this year in the draft, right? So if they can look at where they need, if they can draft really well and get the players they need, then they should be fine. Um, so speaking of the draft, guys, so the mock draft has it. I don't know why they got the Jets here first, but they need to have the Giants there because the Giants and Jets. I mean, Vegas and the Jets have 2 wins, so I don't understand why they have the Jets here at 1. But if you're the Giants, and if you watch the Giants, do you guys think the Giants need more than one player to make the team better, or do you think they should trade the draft to get more players? Mo, what's your thoughts on them? Mo, you there?
Sorry, Kevin, I was talking to my mom. What we said?
Oh, tell mama so you down with your mom.
Yeah, I'm dealing with my mom.
All right, tell your mom I said Merry Christmas and Happy New Year and we love her. Um, so
Will do. Will do.
so what do you think the Giants should do with their draft pick? Do you think it should keep it, or do you think it should give it away and get more draft stock?
I think it depends on what they think quarterback who would go first, what they will get for Dart. I think they should keep Dart though,
Hmm.
and I think they should probably trade the pick to try and get more pieces.
Okay.
But they are going to have a good. Like they just need. They need to fix the offensive line and then get some quarterbacks. They could be nasty next year
And I think they
and get a good head coach of course.
and I think that
John Harbaugh will look good for the Giants.
Carter they needed put a block on his phone during practice so he don't be watching porn when they doing practice. That's so disrespectful. That's so disrespectful. Curry, what's your thoughts on the Giants? Do you think they should keep it, or do you think they trade it away? Curry, you there?
You talking to?
Curry.
Oh, okay. Oh, I didn't know who. I didn't know who you talking. Oh, I would keep it. I'm not that big on trading my draft picks away. If I got a player in mind that I want, I got to get that player.
So let
They they probably just need to get them. Go ahead.
so let me rephrase this, because this is a conversation that's going on with the Giants. Would you trade Jackson Dart for the quarterback from Indiana and that number 1 pick? Would you do that?
Nope.
No.
Okay.
No,
Now,
I know what I got in guard. I don't know what I'm getting in there.
ex-
Indiana.
exactly, and that's the
Was
thing
it Mendoza?
and that's the thing that a lot of people they're not getting is like You know what you have with Jackson Dart, but you don't know what you're gonna get with Fernando. You don't know it, and that's one of the dilemmas that they're coming up with on should they, could they, would they, may I, which whatever the case may be. That's what the Giants are running up against. Um, if it's the Jets, it's a no-brainer, right? Um, Rich, you're the Giants. What you gonna do with that?
You know that quarterback that the Jets got? That guy looks pretty good. That guy just needs some seasoning, and I think he's gonna be all right. I think his name's Cook. But I saw him play against the Dolphins, and I saw him play another team. And I thought, man, the Jets may have their quarterback. The Jets can have a quarterback and not even know it.
Okay, okay. Hey, Rich, what's your thoughts on the Giants? You keeping it or you selling it?
So that,
And why would you sell it? Why would you sell it?
like, they got their quarterback. I mean, as long as Malik Davis comes back around, even if he comes back to one, like week 4, like he's back in his groove, Scatterboo. I'm not getting running back in the first round, so I'd trade down. I can definitely get offensive line though. So if there's a top offensive line in the number one, I'll probably take them there.
Okay. And
But if not, like, I can
okay.
wait.
So who else we got on here? We did Mo. Dana, which if you the Giants,
Yes, sir.
what you gonna do?
I'm keeping Dart. I'm keeping Dart. You already have Dart and I forgot the running back name.
Scatterboo.
Scatterboo. Got to build that perfect nucleus around that guy. You
Okay.
just got to give him some more weapons.
Okay.
Can I say something that no care?
Go ahead, Rich. I mean Mo. Go ahead, Mo.
We always talk about on the show that the best ability
See,
is availability.
you see, you got, man. I was about to go there. You took the words out of my mouth.
So the thing about Jackson Dart is he's not listening to anybody about playing a different game, getting down, not taking all these hits, so you don't get hit so much. That's why I'm on the deal. If he ain't listening to me, if I'm the new head coach, I can move on from him because I want a guy that's going to work with me. Not
Exactly.
against me. Can I say something?
Go ahead.
In response to that, if you have the right weapons on the field, you don't have to do what he's doing.
Right.
Like, you got to get him. If Scalaboo doesn't get hurt, the Malik Davis doesn't get hurt, Scalaboo ain't got to run around like that. But granted, they do have to do some stuff to the offensive line. But they got a decent tight end. They got a wide receiver that can get it, and the other wide receivers are solid. And then you got your running back. Like, it sounds like you're not far. He doesn't get down.
So Matthew,
he's trying to do his best to win.
But availability,
because he's putting himself in positions where he keeps getting concussed.
And that's the reason why they got rid of.
To me, that's bad coaching.
But that's why they got rid of the coach because they allowed him.
The coaches is telling him to get your butt down.
But that's why.
If he's not listening, sit him down.
So Matthew, what's your thoughts?
That's what they're talking about trading him. If I'm the Giants here, I keep the draft picks. Like Logan was saying, with the positions that they needed. The thing with the Giants now, they have a tall quarterback who is 6'2", and I feel like what they got to do is in the draft, they can trade within the middle of the draft. Unless there's some top guy still available in the second round, go get yourself a tall wide receiver that's around his height because Slayton is getting up there. He's 28, and for wide receivers that are 5'11" around that age aren't getting that much yardage, or their body starts to deteriorate in comparison to a wide receiver who's 6'1", 6'2", 6'3" range. So on the Giants, I go get that one wide receiver or two. If you can
Mhm.
get that availability and depending on how much cap that the Giants have, you'll get yourself a veteran or two in those positions that you need help with, and you can easily go get a run in the playoffs.
Okay. Okay. And
Don't know about easy.
I'm gonna say this though. If I can't, if he, this is the whole thing with him, man. He, like, that's why the coach got fired because he got concussed again, right? But Rich makes a great point. If he has Scatterboo and he has neighbors, maybe he doesn't run as much. But you know how all these young quarterbacks are. They think they're invincible until they actually get an injury, like Jackson Dart. Now every time his head hit the ground, they're gonna like he gonna be like another. He could be another Tua, right? So you gotta be careful about how you go about this draft pick because again, if you feel like if the Giants, depending on who the coach is, I'm gonna say that much. But if you're looking for more of a pocket passing quarterback, then I'm going with Fernando. I'm trading Jackson Dart because I know he's not going to run unless he has to run. Jackson Dart will run when but now if you're going to teach him how to slide, dive, whatever the case may be, but he can't take no hits. He can't take no hits because that's the biggest issue they're having with him right now is taking hits. And even though he's young and he feel like he's invincible, you're you're going to be the franchise quarterback. So you got to be careful about how you do everything in your daily playing on the football field. Throw the ball away. If you don't see nothing, then don't take the chance of getting hit. If he can abide by those rules, then I'm definitely gonna keep Jackson Dart because you know what you already have. But like Rich said, he got the
So
piece.
basically,
Go ahead,
you
Matthew.
want Dart to be a pocket passer if he can be developed into a pocket passer. If not, if you're the Giants, you're willing to trade.
I'm gonna say this: you if he's gonna run the if you're gonna run the football, have the plays develop from the run. Like if you like, for example, when the Giants played the Minnesota Vikings in the playoffs, and I told my friend who's a Viking fan, I said, watch how Daniel Jones used his legs in that game. We all knew he could run. We all knew that Daniel Jones could be a running quarterback. They took it away from him after his rookie year because they had Barkley back there, right? But in that game against Minnesota, he used his legs against them because they wasn't looking for it. But then the next game they played, whoever they played after that, he didn't run at all because they was already looking for it. So if you can pick and choose where he runs the football and you don't put him in danger, I'm okay with that. But if you look at it from a Super Bowl point of view, the majority of quarterbacks that win Super Bowls are pocket passing quarterbacks. That's a known fact. You know what I'm saying? That's a known fact. So somebody got to break the mold and be a running quarterback that can win a Super Bowl. And to me, the closest one that got there was probably Steve McNair when he played with Tennessee
Are you
Titans.
kidding?
Who else was a running quarterback recently?
Steve Young.
No, 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 no. I'm not saying I'm not using Steve Young for that. I'm saying recently. I'm talking about recently.
Why?
I'm talking about recently.
Michael Vick.
Yeah, but he never got the Super Bowl.
Yeah, with the Super Bowl.
He never got Super Bowl. But I'm saying to me, the closest
I
quarterback.
mean, Russell Wilson can run.
Yeah, but he wasn't running quarterback. You know, Steve McNair. They like Tennessee Titans made plays for Steve McNair to run the football. You know, like how Buffalo
He was
does
a
with
terrible runner.
how Buffalo does with Josh Allen. How they have developed plays for him to run the football. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm talking about. Things like that. If the Giants can stay to that tune, if they can play that type of music for Jackson Dart, then we're fine. But like Rich said, if you give him all the parts around him, he don't need to do that. You know what I'm saying? You really don't need
Yeah,
to.
you got to look at the difference between Josh Allen and Jackson Dart.
Yeah, well,
Josh Allen is like 6'5" and
yeah, but,
he's like 235. This
but
guy is like 6'2"
I'm
and he only around 220.
that's
That's a big difference right there.
yeah,
This ain't big shots that Josh Allen can take.
exactly. That's what I'm saying. But if you watch how Buffalo is doing now, he don't really take off like he used to take off when he first got in the league. He don't take off. They kind of developed the plays for him to run the football. You know, So it's certain plays that Josh Allen
He'll run when he has to, though.
yeah,
He'll
yeah,
put
he'll,
that,
yeah,
he'll put the game on his
yeah,
shoulders.
he'll run when he
Yeah,
has
he'll
to,
run.
you know. But again, with Jackson Dart, they gotta pick and choose when what he does. So we got the Oakland Raiders picking second. Um, we know they're going after quarterback. Um, and they might go after Fernando Mendoza. He might be the quarterback from them. So do we think that that the Raiders are one quarterback away from being great, or are they
No,
multiple players away from being good? What do you
no,
Yeah,
they're not one
lots of
quarterback away now.
so should they should they and I think it depends on if
I mean, they're one quarterback away from being a bad team instead of terrible.
so let me ask you guys a question. Do you think that the coach will still be there next year?
No.
Okay.
No.
So maybe that determines.
Now, back to your first question now, I think that they can draft a quarterback and build around that quarterback, but he's not going to make them instantly playoff ready right by himself.
And the only reason I'm asking this
Now,
question is because the great Manning is still going back to college, right? And he was, I don't know what's
which
going
is
on.
good.
He'll probably be they'll try to
well,
they'll make him the number one draft pick coming out next year, right? So my thing is
Maybe.
if you are sipping the Kool-Aid on Manning, and if you're the Giants, I mean if you're the Raiders, the Jets, maybe the Cardinals, do you go out and draft a quarterback right now, or do you wait? Because if you don't get the players, and even the Browns, because I'm not really sold on Shador yet, right? Um, I think he could be a good quarterback if they can get the offensive line around him ready. Um, if they can definitely get the offensive line together and healthy for a season, I think Shador it could be that quarterback for him. But again, that's still in the open because we don't know who the who the coach going to be for that. But only thing I'm saying is if you're if you're multiple players away from being good, um, then why draft a quarterback right now? Um, work what you have,
Right.
and then look at the next draft and see if you can get those pieces that you need. Because from 1 to 5, you got the Giants, the Raiders, the Browns, the Jets, the Titans, the Cardinals, and you got Washington, right? Then you got the Saints. To me, if I'm the Saints, I'm a team that might be wanting to push up there and get a quarterback. The quarterbacks they got on the team are terrible. I don't think they're that good.
I don't know. That quarterback I saw for the Saints, he didn't look bad. Yeah, I was going to say, I'm with you, Curry.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
He looked good to me, man. He just don't have a lot of weapons around him. Right.
Okay, so
And
then
then, what's the running back? He hasn't been playing, so
I don't think he might not be
man,
there.
I like that quarterback the Saints got.
I don't think he'll be there next year.
He played good against Carolina.
So let me ask you guys a question.
Definitely.
The Brown situation. Do you guys believe in Shador or not? Who believes in him and why?
I think Shador needs help.
Okay, so you believe in Shador.
Yeah, I need to see more. And I just need to see more from him.
Now I'm gonna
He
say
holds onto the ball a little bit too long. And once he learns to let it rip, it's okay to throw an incompletion. He could be okay.
Yeah.
so now I'm gonna say this. He didn't play against Pittsburgh the first time, and now he's gonna play against Pittsburgh next week. To me, that's gonna determine if he should be the quarterback or not. Right. And if they lose, if he doesn't put them in harm's way, if he doesn't like the last interception he get some of his interceptions, the problem is the balls are being tipped in the air, which you can't control that. So you have to learn how to throw over the defensive player's hands or arms or whatever it bumps into or helmet, whatever the case may be. Those interceptions can't
Yeah, he just got to learn to
right.
not. If I'm in 2nd and 4, don't hang on to the
The
ball
ball long,
and
yeah.
not put me in 3rd and 12.
You're right, right. So I think, but when it comes to interceptions, those interceptions right there, I can accept. I can't accept you throwing the ball directly to a guy. I can't accept that. I can accept the ball being tipped and being an interception. I can accept that, right? But my determination on what I think him going forward will be against Pittsburgh this week because this game, this game is in Cleveland. Pittsburgh has to win. Shador, this is Pittsburgh. I hate Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh hates me, type of thing. If Pittsburgh was on fire, we need spit on them. I'm gonna put
I
it to you.
don't know you,
I'm
man.
gonna put it. I'm put it on. I'm gonna put it to you like that. It's simple. It's just that simple, right? But, but, but this is where it's gonna show the grit.
Pittsburgh don't care nothing about Cam Dick.
Yeah, they don't care.
Just like Philadelphia don't care about Maury Bowser.
But if they win, I'm gonna care. But anyway, this is gonna show me if Shador is that dude because that's a divisional game. I think they played Cincinnati last game of the season. I don't because Cincinnati's not. We should be Cincinnati at the beginning of the year anyway. But again, when they got Joe's Bird and they're clicking right now, Cleveland probably lose that game big because Cincinnati's clicking. They just took too late to click. So those are top 3-4 teams that's in the draft. That should they look to move that draft pick? Should they trade it or should they keep it? And so I'm looking at this thing right here. It says, here's a look at the updated first round draft or the week 15 results come in according to Tankathon, which calculates strength of schedule differently from the NFL. New York Giants is 2-12 record. Strength of schedule is 536. The Raiders are 2-12. Tennessee is 2-12. The Browns, the Jets, the Cardinals, the Saints, the Washington Redskins, the Bengals, and Atlanta Falcons. So let me ask you guys another question. The Giants, the Raiders, the Titans, the Browns, the Jets, the Cardinals, the Saints, the Commanders, the Bengals, and the Falcons are the top 10 teams to pick. Which one of these teams do you guys feel could make the playoffs next year? Outside of the Commanders.
What's the teams again?
The Giants, the Raiders, the Titans, the Browns, the Jets, the Cardinals, the Saints, the Commanders, the Bengals, and the Falcons.
Falcons.
I would say the Falcons too. I would say the Falcons.
I don't think you'll be with Raheem Morris though.
Would you say that? You know what? I don't think he's going anywhere. I really don't. I don't think he's going.
I don't think he's gonna stay either.
I don't think he's going nowhere. They got to get their quarterback situation taken care of because, did they bring Penix in too early? I don't know. I mean, you signed Carson Wentz to a big contract after him having Achilles tendon tear, and we all know that it takes a year to recover from that. So that didn't. Who did I say? Did I say
Carson Wentz?
I'm sorry. Kirk Cousins. So I don't know who idea was that. If that was the coach's idea or was that the owner's idea, but it didn't make sense at all. So I think he gets another year. Especially how that division has been played out this year. It could be anybody's year coming up. One more thing and then we can get out of there, guys.
I don't know, man. He sit there, he ain't got blown out by the Dolphins, man.
So
I don't see him hanging in there, man.
I don't.
We'll find out in 2 weeks anyway.
Yes, we will. Yes, we will. Yes, we will.
I think Tua gonna fall into that Kirk Cousins role. Miami can't afford to get rid of him.
Let's talk a little basketball.
Yes, they can. They can afford to get rid of him, but here's where I think Miami needs to look. They, their saver is out in San Francisco, and his name is Mac Jones.
Jones.
He's already out there learning that McDaniel offense now, and they bring him in there, and I believe he can get behind the wheel and he can drive it. Because you got somebody that can drive the ball downfield, he can move around in the pocket, he's got pocket presence, he got everything that Tua don't have. He just don't have enough time to be a starter. If he comes into Miami, he can take that ball and roll with it.
And I think there's gonna be a lot of suitors for Matt Jones. I think the coach might be a suitor.
He's got to fit the right program though, and
Yeah,
I think McDaniel and
yeah,
Shanahan they run the same
same.
type
Yeah, I
offense,
think so do the
so
Colts too.
it would be easier for him to come in and learn that offense. That's a they say that those guys run a difficult offense to start with. So
Yeah,
Mac Jones showed that he could run that offense when Purdy was out. So I Miami would be foolish not to at least give him
yeah.
at least try to go after him.
I think that, and I think the Colts might be there as well. Um, because this season right here, this was terrible for them injury wise. Real quick in basketball, guys. So, um, they've played about 30 games so far, and players are complaining about back to backs and all this other trash. I'm just so sick of it. Really, I'm just sick of it. But this Emery Cup thing, nobody's really feeling this, but the two teams that's playing, right? So I've been bouncing around a couple of friends of mine, and if it comes up on ESPN, First Take, or whatever, they listen to us again. Dana, why not have the Emery Cup at the end of
Well,
the season, and the teams that play in it get the number one draft pick, and be done with it? Be done with it. Be done with it. Because again, the Knicks ain't putting up no banner, right? They want a real banner. And you got Knicks fans all jumping for joy thinking that they're going to the NBA finals. And I don't think there's nobody in the East that can beat Oklahoma if it comes out to a 7 game series if Oklahoma gets there. Because I think San Antonio gonna have something to say about that, right? But they need to fix this thing. And they're trying, they're coming up, they're they have to come up with some ways to do this because they have and I just printed this off real quick. Let's see if I can get this back up here. So it says the NBA draft, how often the worst team landed number one pick. 2016, Philadelphia had the odds, they got it. 2016, Minnesota had the odds and got it. 2014, Milwaukee had the odds, Cleveland gets it. 2013, Orlando has the odds, Cleveland gets it. 2012, Charlotte has it, New Orleans gets it. 2011, Minnesota has the odds, Cleveland gets it. 2010, Washington has New Jersey has the odds, Washington gets it. 2009, Sacramento has the odds, the Clipper gets it. So forth and 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 so forth. So even if you have the best odds, you don't get it. We saw this last year, which I don't care what nobody say. It was fixed again for Dallas to get it because you get rid of your best player. Now you regret getting rid of your best player, and now you get the number one draft pick. Come on, the NBA needs to stop it. It's too obvious how they're doing this thing. And I say, people's like, well, how do you know? How do you know if the team? Like they were saying, well, what if they add players? Only player you can add to your team at that point in time will be players you have in your D League or your G League. You can bring them up to play in that game, in that tournament, and whoever wins that tournament gets the number one draft pick. Now, the thing about it is that if you're a team that your draft pick is already gone to another team, then that's your fault because you should have never gave it away. But I'm just saying they need to fix this because it's not being fixed the right way. And again, um, if we go back, me and Curry, I don't know if Curry watched basketball back in the 70s, but if you go way back to 70s, it always was. It was crazy how like And I tell people this all the time, the Celtics has never had the #1 draft pick at all. And for 20 years, they had some of the worst records, right? The reason why they got Lenny Bias was through a trade. The reason why they got Larry Bird, they drafted him a year before he came out, right? The reason why they had #1 a pick for Jason Tatum is through a trade. I mean, yeah, through a trade for another team. That's how they got the #1 draft pick, right? So they never ever in the history of basketball ever had the #1 draft pick. It had the worst record from 1986 up until 2008 until they won another title. So don't sit and tell me that it's not fixed when they should have been. The Spurs have gotten so many chances, and now Dallas is the one. And then if you look at the Spurs with Wemby and what all they got too, they need to fix it because it's too obvious. It's way too obvious. In baseball news, there's really no baseball news going on right now. They're still in winter break. I mean, winter meetings doing things. So we should see what comes up about the pitch count, not the pitch count, but the robot strike zone. See how that works out. They're still tweaking that for some things to get that corrected. So there's some small things going on in baseball. And again, just remember, guys, that Olympics will be here in February. Do you guys want to do a show next week on the 29th or not? Or will you guys be out of town doing something? Because it's left up to y'all.
Is that on Monday? I'll be available.
Yes, Monday. The 29th is Monday. I believe.
Well, I might not be. I might be looking at housing.
Okay. I mean, just let me know during the week if y'all want to do one or not. If not, I got a new name of a show I want to do anyway. I just hang out, do it for hours. Called Overcooking My Grits. So, we want to wish everybody Merry Christmas. You guys, I wish you guys a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year if I don't see you guys again. Thank you guys for another year of Just Us Sports. You guys mean a lot to me. And I guarantee you, man, if I could give y'all some residual income, y'all definitely would get it because y'all put up with me when I can't do a show, and y'all come on when Thursday nights, and you make time for me, and I really appreciate that. It means a lot to me, guys. It really does, and I thank you guys for hanging out with me. It means a lot. You just don't know how much it does. Because this is my zen. Yeah, what's up?
Just want to say, everybody have a birthday shot for me on New Year's.
Oh yeah, your birthday is no New Year's.
50th birthday. So
it's 50. 50. You been to the doctors yet?
50, baby.
You been to the doctors yet?
Man, don't be trying to get me on I already have one.
Okay, I'm just saying if you didn't get one before
I had to start at 35.
At when? 35.
35. My mom had colon cancer.
Oh, okay, good. Because I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, that is you gotta be cautious about that. They say at 40, but if you can start at 30, 35, you should do it. It's really important. It saves lives. I'm telling you, I go to doctors for everything. If my fingernail breaks and it's in my skin, I'm calling them like, yo, can you send me some crazy glue to put my nail back together till it grows out? Because I know I can't live forever, but I'm gonna do my darndest to try to help my health stay healthy, and to that point, to the point that it comes. But again, man, thank everybody.
How much time you got, Kim?
On what?
I got like 1 minute.
How much time I got left on the show?
Oh. Yeah.
Oh, I mean, it's 8:21. We can still talk because I ain't nothing else going on. You know what I'm saying? I ain't no.
No, I was going to share a little story with you.
Go ahead. Go ahead, share it with us.
While you were talking about, the importance of getting.
Is it by Aaron Rodgers?
Well, he included in it, that's for sure. But you were talking about the importance of your checkups and all these things, especially for males when they get a certain age. And me, I'm much older than you guys. I'm Lord, let me live to see March. I'll be 68 years old. had enough. Thought it was a little bit alarming to him. So he told me, he said, hey, I'm going to have to set you up with a neurologist because it could be cancer. And I said, oh, okay. So I went to see the neurologist and talked to him. And, we went through all this stuff. And he was like, what question do you have for me? I said, well, one question I have for you is, what's the chances of having cancer? And he said, about 30%. And I said, okay, I said, cool. I mean, there's no word to him. I said, that's cool. Because I'm going to lean to the 70% chance that I don't.
Right.
And he said, okay. He said, yeah, okay. And that's where you got to look at it. He said, I don't want you to go home and worry yourself to death about it. I said, man, I'm not going to go worry myself to death because this ain't something I can't control it. I said, it is what it is. I said, but I will go home and I'll pray about it now. So anyway, to get to the next part, so he set me up with an MRI, had the MRI and all that stuff done. So and I'm still not right more worried about it. To me, I'm like, hey, it is what it is. I'm going to have to deal with it. So anyway, got the MRI results back, man, and it said no cancer. Cancer was, visible in my MRI. So I just want to tell you, man, that was the good part about it. But still, like you say, in this males, we got to stay, these prostate exams and these colon exams and whatever is available for us, got to get it, man, because they say, especially within black males, they say risk is higher, which I don't know why. Just as many other people there as it was me. I wasn't the only. It wasn't just all African Americans there when I went to the doctor. There was other people sitting there too that didn't look like me. But anyway, check like Kevin say, that is important. And to your point, Mo, if you can talk to Aaron Rodgers, maybe you need to get him to get checked too.
I just got news flash. Breaking news: Ravens head coach John Harbaugh is the co-favorite to be next head coach to be fired. Wow.
That ain't no breaking news.
Baltimore fans have been calling for the team to fire Harbaugh for the last couple of years.
Early part of the season.
Wow. Wow.
I don't understand why you listen. I'm telling you now, if Pittsburgh goes in there and they're running down, they're gonna be fired too.
Yeah.
They're gonna be fired too.
So we got time to talk about this. So let's talk about this for a minute, right? This is the weird part about this whole thing with Tomlin, right? So when the 49ers have a winning record, they don't say, well, he's had a winning record for the last 5 years. When Sean McVay has a winning record, don't say nothing about him and winning record last 5 years. When who else we got out there? When the coach from Miami wins, they don't say nothing about him having a winning record for 5 years. But soon as he won that game the other night, first thing he said was he has the most winning. He has the most winning records in the last 15, 20 years. Mike Tomlin. I said, see, that's why I can't be a Steelers fan, because that's the first thing they say. We get that point. We understand that point. But at the end of the day, you can't be satisfied with that. And Mo, I know you're not satisfied with that. But there are some fans out there that are there's some. Well, he had the most. Okay, so he did. But then, do they win into playoff games? Do they go into Super Bowl wins? If they don't, then it's all for naught. I get it. And even Aaron Rodgers said, "Yo, he's one of the greatest coaches I ever played for, because he's a coach for men. He's a coach of men. He definitely is that dude." But when does the organization get tired of saying, "Yo, we're 9-8, or we're 10-7, or we're 11 and whatever"? You know what I'm saying?
How you gonna raise the bar for him if you don't give him a quarterback?
But whose fault is that?
Well, I mean, he started drafting the quarterbacks too. He is. I will say this. The problem that he had is he stuck with Ben too long. He passed on Lamar. He passed on Hurts. And he
and he's
We
old.
already said Kenny Pickett. He won games with Kenny Pickett. He won games with Duck Hodges.
Well, let me ask you a question. Did he win the
He
game?
won games with Mason Rudolph.
Wait a minute. Did he win the games or did the defense win the games for those guys?
Yeah. The defense has not been that great for the last couple of years.
I'm just asking a question, man. I'm just asking a question.
They're high paid, but they ain't that great.
Yeah, I mean, you could be.
He's the coach. The coach and the quarterback are the only two that get statistics.
So I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this right now.
He's playing until this year. I'll say this. Let me tell you the difference.
Mm-hmm.
Until this year, he played scared to let the defense win the game.
Okay.
This year, he's letting Aaron Rodgers win the game.
So you know that I know Pittsburgh has a higher salary cap on the defensive side of football than any other team in the NFL. So he went all in this year to win the Super Bowl. He's all in. So if it doesn't happen now, when will it happen? Because you don't know if Aaron Rodgers is coming back next year. In the situation,
you won't know that until about 3 weeks before the season starts.
He will let them know. He will let them know.
Oh God!
The draft is in Pittsburgh this year.
And I forgot to tell y'all guys.
And even if he comes back, he still might be a first-round quarterback.
Yo, I have my Christmas shirt
Ain't no
on.
long-term answer.
Hey, I had my Christmas shirt on. I was hoping y'all guys came on and had Christmas shirts on. I meant to say something to you in the chat room on Monday, but I totally forgot about it because of the basketball game. But it is what it is. But I'm just saying though, it's getting on my nerves, and maybe because I'm a Browns fan, that this is the Steelers fans say. I'm like, yo, you okay with that? I'm not okay with that. I'm never okay with that. I'm not okay with the Browns having 20 damn quarterbacks in the last in 20 quarterbacks in 18 years. I'm not okay with that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not okay with that at all. So they have to fix it, and they got to fix it right. And the thing about it is, you look at, like we talking about the Jason Dart situation. You look at a quarterback that you think can be your franchise guy, but then this is what he does on the field. So you got to question it at all times. And you look at teams, like how many teams actually do get a franchise quarterback that they feel like can get them to the Super Bowl, can get them in the playoffs and win games. It's not that often. It's not really that often that you get quarterbacks like that, you know. And when you find one, you got to make sure that he stays healthy, and he plays the right way. Like like when the Rams got Matt Stafford, I said, "Oh, we're gonna win. We should at least win two more Super Bowls with Matt Stafford." And we're bound. We hopefully we'll win one this year. That'll give him two. That'll give him one more than Aaron Rodgers. But Aaron Rodgers got MVPs. And hopefully, I think my personal opinion, Matt Stafford should get the MVP this year, even though Sean McVay is kind of forcing it down the team's throat, because when they get in the red zone, he wants to throw the damn ball instead of giving the ball to Williams to run for touchdowns. That's the only issue I have with him right now. But again, we know Aaron Rodgers is going in the Hall of Fame because he's been MVP back-to-back times, and this is what he's been MVP for 3 times out of the years he's been playing. He took the Packers to the Super Bowl. Who did he beat in the Super Bowl that year? I can't remember.
Pittsburgh.
Oh, Pittsburgh. Okay. Who was the quarterback? Was it Ben? Was the quarterback Ben?
It was big. He was still there.
Okay. I forgot who it was, but I mean, he's won the Super Bowl.
And Aaron Rodgers would not have won that Super Bowl and Mendenhall not fumbled that ball.
Yeah.
You agree with that, Mo?
I agree with that.
I agree. I agree with you. But
Hey, real quick,
go ahead.
we mentioned on that also, when I went in, because Jeff already knows how military physicals are. So with me, they did it from closest distance, well, the farthest distance, closest distance, because there are people that had to drive 400 miles for their physical. And I'm the last one. I was the closest to the building. And there's people telling me, hey, I drive back in a few weeks because they have wait on a waiver or multiple waivers. And so I go in, doc does his thing, and anyone can get involved with this answer. Guess how many waivers they had to sign off for me?
And I think the most can be 7.
Only, depending on the body and all that. With me, they only had to approve one waiver, which was because my right eye exceeds the military eyesight by a 0.2%. And the doctor said it's a rarity to have someone with a clean health record because they do a background check on health records and all that, and they can't find anything serious on me. And because I signed up for the Army and all that, did the ASVAB test, and got enlisted in under a week. And they said that's a rarity to even hear in today's generation.
Well, and you know why? Because most people that most people that go in the military are athletes, so they have some type of injury from playing sports or whatever the case may be, and that's why they may have a waiver like for ankle or a knee or things of that nature or the back. Um, the biggest the main waivers that they won't accept. Um, and I'm just being honest with everybody. If you're bisexual and you show that tendency through your physical, they won't let you go in. They won't. They won't.
Well,
They won't let you.
That's for you to laugh. That's for you to
well,
laugh.
not only that,
If you show that tendency doing the physical, they won't let you go in. Once you get in,
if you drink
and they're okay.
if you drink a caffeine a day before, when they do the vital testing, people that drink soda or coffee, legit, they legit do that now.
Of course, yeah. What businesses do they spot and you being by?
Well, the thing is,
No. So Carrie, let me say this to you. It's certain things the doctors look for in your
Okay.
in your movement, in your language. And the reason why I know this is because when I went in, there was a guy that was bisexual. Um, and when they did the finger thing, he was already prepared for that. I'm just telling you, he was already prepared for that. He's like, yo, get him out of here. So
now, Ken,
yes.
the art didn't have to do that with me because that whole area was clean.
Well, they might not do it
So
now,
you didn't have to do that.
but when I went in, you had to cough to see if you had a hernia, and you had to bend down, spread them, and he said, when I come to you, just do it. He said, and then come back up. And this other guy was way down in the line, just sitting there waiting. And it's like, yo, get him out of here. Get him out of here. Oh my God. I'm not lying. I'm not lying. But anyway, guys. Yes, we did. But anyway, though, getting back to sports, like so.
They look like that guy that makes that punch.
So anyway, the Bengals situation. So
that's funny, man.
So the Bengals situation. Do you guys think that Joe Burrows will be there next year or not? Anybody think he's gonna be there?
The only reason he would be there is if he's guaranteed the protection. Because if he's not there, he's gonna retire.
So do you guys think that he wants to get the coach fired to bring somebody else in?
I think he does. I think he wants to go college wide receivers coach and coordinator that guy, Joe Brady. I think he wants him back in there.
Okay. All right. I just wanted to bring that up to you guys real quick. I think that's pretty much it, man. you guys, man, like again, you guys have a happy holiday. I love you guys, man, and y'all be safe out there. Um,
Hey,
I got you guys gifts, but I didn't have I haven't had a chance to send these things off, so it's gonna be a late Christmas gift for y'all. Don't blame it on my
look,
don't blame it on my heart, blame it on my brain. All right.
look, if you can get it mailed in before March 17th, that's good. If not, then you have to wait until
Yeah, I'm gonna have,
for
I definitely have to wait then. I'm definitely have to wait then. All right, guys, man. Hey, Mo, make sure you give your
uh,
mom a big hug and kiss from
hey,
me.
wait,
Dana, how's your dad doing, man?
Man, he's doing great, man.
That's good. That's good to hear.
That's good news as far as we like his
absolutely.
Rich, how's your puppy doing, man? Your ankle biter. How that doing?
She does, she's running around here all crazy, like she own the place.
All right,
And,
Mo.
but I just wanted to say something before we got off.
Mm-hmm.
Kansas City's moving to Kansas in
Oh
2030.
yeah, I meant to say that. I meant to. Yeah, they did. They're
Now,
moving.
what you just say?
They're moving to Kansas City.
Kansas City, Arrowhead's getting demolished and they're building a stadium in Kansas.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
The fans ain't happy either. They are pissed off about that.
No, they not.
They are pissed off. They make
It's
stuff.
death of an icon.
Yeah, that's gonna be. That's
They're
good.
thinking that like a Wrigley Field or something.
Hey, Rich, are they trying to?
Yeah.
Are they building a dome? They say anything about it being a dome or anything?
They stadium is coming in 2030. I don't think they got the design yet.
Okay. All right. Mo,
But Kansas City, Missouri was trying to have it.
okay. Mo, how's hunting coming for you?
What?
House hunting.
House hunting?
Yeah.
Oh, well. Very well.
You find anything yet, or you got some offers? I mean, you.
They have people who are looking at our house. We have no offers yet, but I'm looking at houses myself as well.
Okay. So everybody doing some good things. This coming in 2026. So if we don't have a show next week, make sure you guys have your New Year's resolutions for next year written down. Sports, whatever, however you want, whatever you want to do. So, all right, guys, man, I'm gonna let you guys go. Again, thank you guys.
Merry Christmas, guys.
Thank you guys for everything, man. You're a great bunch of
Merry
dudes.
Christmas. Merry Christmas.
I love you like step cousins.
Step cousins.
All right, here we go.
Thank you for listening to the Just Us Sports Talk Show. You have been entertained in the sports world by K Dix from Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, the small city with a large heart, Dana the Hater Clark from St. Petersburg, Florida, and Murray E. Baskerville from Gotta Be More Careful, Baltimore, Maryland. Remember, we throw stones and we do live in glass houses. Big time players make big time plays and big time games. Stay ready to be ready. You have been listening to an In the Zone Sports Talk Radio production. Remember, you can hear us again on star107fm.com on Saturdays from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Be sure to download the Try 99 TV app on any smart device and subscribe to In the Zone Sports Talk Television. The cost is $4.95. Thank you in advance for your support.